Now we move on to our next news. US President Donald Trump has held a phone call with Syria's President Ahmad Al-Sharaa. They discussed Syria's transitional phase, regional security, and ways to strengthen bilateral cooperation. Al-Sharaa reaffirmed Syria's commitment to territorial unity, national sovereignty, and civil peace, warning against the return of terrorist groups, especially Daesh. Trump has welcomed the ceasefire and praised the integration of military forces, including the Syrian Democratic Forces, into official institutions. Both leaders stressed dialogue as the path to resolving regional disputes, and Trump offered U.S. support for Syria's reconstruction and economic stability. Now, for this discussion, we welcome Mr. Glenn Grant. He's joining us live from Riga. Thank you very much, Mr. Grant, for staying with us. Thank you. Now that U.S. President it's.
That's a good question, and I wonder how long it will keep going for. Because I mean, as you know, America was actually supporting the Kurds, and now has basically pulled out of that, and is supporting the Syrian president. I don't know what the deal is that Trump is after, but it is interesting that the Russians appear to be pulling out of Syria at the moment, and it's why they're pulling out, what America is actually offering Syria, and what America is after getting away, from Syria, is unclear. But the dynamics of that region are just unbelievable, because you still got the dynamic of Iran having been involved deeply in the country for a long time. So is this counter Iran? Is this counter Russia? I'm not sure. And only time is going to tell us exactly what it is that Trump is after.
And now that we see some media reports coming about Russian forces removing their forces slowly, and also Ahmad Al-Sharaa going to Russia today, and then the talk of U.S. President and Ahmad Al-Sharaa just happened within 24 hours. How can you connect all this?
To be honest, it's really hard to connect all this. There is no clarity at the moment of how and why these things are happening. I mean, clearly, I'm guessing, and this is only a guess, that the Syrian president does not have total faith in America, and is hedging his bets by going to Russia and by staying involved with the Russians to a degree. Maybe he thinks he's going to get cheaper military equipment. Maybe he's after oil. Maybe he's after something else. But it's strange that on one side, you've got Trump showing willingness, I suppose, to engage with Syria on a positive fashion, and to change sides from helping the Kurds to helping Syria. It's strange that should happen, and then the Syrian president still wishes to retain the Russian link, even though the Russians are pulling out. This is one we're going to have to wait. We're going to have to give it a bit of time, maybe a month or two, before actually all these things become clear.
Yes.
We wait and see.
Right. Oh, one thing I'm also waiting and seeing is how Ahmad Al-Sharaa's image is changing, and how his alliance or his closeness with a lot of world leaders is playing into his new image. How do you think that is changing?
Well, of course, he was it's not that long ago. He's been president now for just I'm not sure it's even a year. It was, I think, January 25. And of course, before that, he was a terrorist. One of those bearded men running around with rifles, attacking every country that they could to get Syria back. Now he's trying to turn himself into this man of the world. Let's just call it that. Don't forget that he was medically educated. So he's not an unintelligent person, and so he has a degree of sophistication already in his background. So it's quite possible that he can come out of this as a leader with standing, and a leader with a leader that people are happy to talk to, like Trump. But he does have to be careful. He cannot play all sides against each other, and that's a risk that he has to be very, very wary about, because not everybody's going to feed him if he's seen to be playing with the enemy.
Right. With that, I would like to thank Mr. Glenn Grant for joining us today and sharing that insight throughout our news.